Units of the Syrian Arab Army launch intensive attacks on armed terrorists in Kasab and inflict heavy losses upon them. Four terrorists coming from Lebanon were captured and infiltration attempt foiled. New Russian ships joined the Russian military fleet in the eastern Mediterranean. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Yarado Kikorian with the news in English. Several armed men have been killed by the Syrian Arab Army after they had infiltrated into checkpoint 45 in Kasab in Latakia northern countryside. The area, a few kilometers away from the Turkish borders, has come under the control of the army that continues to repel the terrorist gang's recurrent attempts to infiltrate into secure area under Turkish cover. The army has also dealt severe blows to Jabhat al-Nusra members and leaders in An-Nisr mountain, killing a large number of them. The Syrian Arab Army units have foiled an attempt by terrorists to infiltrate in the direction of Al-War neighborhood in Homs, and another attempt to infiltrate from Al-Ghassibiyah in the direction of Al-Dwair village in Homs countryside, killing and wounding several armed men. Several terrorists have also been killed and wounded in Rahum and Sahrij villages. A machine gun-equipped car has moreover been destroyed in Homs' eastern suburbs. In a house in Galyoun mountain in Tel Kalakh countryside, the authorities captured 4 armed men who had come from Lebanon. The Syrian Arab Army units have meanwhile eliminated 15 terrorists while they were installing missiles launching podiums. 2 locally made rockets have been fired by terrorists in Abu al-Alaya village in Homs' eastern suburbs. No injuries have been reported amongst citizens. A military source told Sana that a unit of the armed forces confiscated a car carrying 35 rockets hidden inside bags of hay in Hama northern countryside. Syrian Arab Army units have killed and wounded several armed men and destroyed their criminal tools after foiling their infiltration attempt into a military checkpoint in Al-Manshiyah neighborhood downtown Daraa. Syrian Arab Army units also targeted terrorist gatherings in Al-Urdun Street and the surroundings of 4 buildings, scoring direct hits. The Syrian Arab Army also hit 6 sites in Daraa suburbs, killing several gunmen. Several armed men have meanwhile been killed or wounded after their attempt to attack a military checkpoint in Ghabarib had been foiled. The authorities in Kyrgyzstan have confirmed the departure of 32 extremists at least to Syria to join the armed terrorist groups fighting there. A Kyrgyz extremist had earlier been killed in Syria. He was identified by his family when they saw his photo on the internet. Head of the Turkish Republican Party, Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu, the biggest opposition party in Turkey, expressed anxiety over the coordination between Erdogan and the armed terrorist groups in Syria, which seek to drag the Turkish army into a war with neighboring Syria already rejected by the Turkish people. Kılıçdaroğlu called on the general commander of the Turkish army to avoid any involvement in Erdogan's cowardly plans. For his part, the candidate of the People's Party for the municipality of Ankara, Mansur Yavaş, revealed that an armed group of 100 members has arrived in Ankara to terrorize the opponents of Erdogan before the election next Sunday. Three Russian ships affiliated with the Russian Northern Fleet and Baltic Sea entered the Mediterranean. A source at the Russian General Command said that the ships crossed the Black Sea to join the operational unit of the Russian military fleet in eastern Mediterranean. Welcome back. In Iraq, ahead of the campaigns for the legislative elections on the 1st of April, terrorists targeted a polling station by grenades east of Mosul, injuring 29 Iraqi civilians. Police said that a terrorist group attacked the polling station of Al-Bayariq in Al-Zahra neighborhood east of Mosul, while the civilians were crowded to get their electoral cards. This was one of a series of attacks across Iraq yesterday that killed at least 29 people and injured many others. In northeast Baghdad, a suicide bomber rammed his explosive-laden tanker into a security checkpoint on a bridge, killing 9 people. In further attacks, gunmen targeted an army post in Tarmiya town just north of Baghdad, killing 8 and wounding 13. Also, a car bomb exploded in western Baghdad, killing 4 people and wounding 12 others, and a bomb blast near a market in Baghdad's southern suburbs killed 1 person and wounded 5 others. 4 Palestinian fishermen were wounded when Israeli warboats opened fire at them off the coast of Rafah. The Palestinian Safa agency quoted eyewitnesses as saying that Israeli warboats fired shells at Palestinian vessels, setting fire in a number of them. Meanwhile, Israeli occupation troops arrested 8 Palestinians during night incursions in different parts of Nablus in the West Bank. In another development, the 2 extremists, Rabbis Eliezer Brewer and Haim Richman, broke into Al-Aqsa Mosque in occupied Jerusalem, accompanied by 30 settlers under the Protection Occupation Private Police Force. In a new U.S. stance in support of its ally, the terrorist Muslim Brotherhood organization, the U.S. administration threatened to halt its assistance to Egypt on the background of the Egyptian death penalty on 529 members of the banned group who were convicted in the murder of policemen. At the State Department daily briefing, spokeswoman Marie Harf said implementation of such a sentence by Egyptian leaders would have repercussions on the U.S. assistance and on the economic prospects of the country. Back to our local news, receiving a delegation of the European Loyalty Programme's Minister of Social Affairs, Kinda Shammat, said that the Syrian society, including the Palestinians, have stood steadfast despite the attacks carried out by the terrorist groups against camps and makeshift centers in several areas. Shammat told the delegation that the terrorists pursue the innocent, whether they are Syrian or Palestinian, and commit their ugly crimes against them without distinction. They have targeted, she pointed out, even the makeshift centers that shelter the displaced. Shammat explained to the delegation the government's efforts to overcome current difficulties. The convoy, which comprises an Asian and European delegation consisting of 19 persons, seeks to offer support to the Palestinians and the Syrians in the camps and the makeshift centers. The assistance includes 6 containers of basic foodstuffs and 4 ambulances. With this, we end our news for today. Thank you for watching. For more details about Syria and the region and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, syriaonline.sy. Now to latest business and market news with Vani Genjian, but after a short break.